The ancient philosophical concept of Stoicism has been a powerful tool in helping individuals gain control over their thoughts and reactions. Through daily practices and mindfulness exercises, one can utilize Stoic principles for personal growth and mental well-being. Today, we'll walk you through 4 effective meditations that have greatly impacted my journey of self-mastery. Each of these meditations is designed to provide insights that can lead you towards a life of emotional resilience and serenity. Number 1. You can only control your own actions. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is understanding that you can only control your own actions. This perspective entails a great deal of personal responsibility, but it's also incredibly empowering. To internalize this concept, think about it this way. You can't control the weather, the traffic on your morning commute, or how other people behave. What you can control, though, is how you respond to these circumstances. So often we expend mental energy worrying about things that are simply outside of our control. We fret about a presentation going wrong, an argument with a friend, or unfavorable news. Yet the reality is, how much of these situations can we truly dictate? Our stress and concern often stem from our desire to control the uncontrollable. By redirecting our focus to what we can control, we can find peace and clarity. For instance, let's assume you have a big work presentation coming up. You can't control whether the technology will work, how your colleagues will react, or the questions you'll be asked. However, you can prepare thoroughly. You can practice your presentation, anticipate possible questions, and even have a backup plan in the event of technological problems. This doesn't mean we absolve ourselves of all responsibilities or ignore the possible impact of events around us. Rather, we choose to engage our energy and efforts in areas where we can make a difference, our actions. Adopting this mindset is not an overnight transformation. It takes practice and consistent conscious effort. But as we gradually shift our focus onto what we can control, we gain a deeper sense of agency in our lives. We learn to take actions that align with our values and goals, disentangling ourselves from the chaos of the uncontrollable. This fundamental Stoic principle helps us navigate life more effectively and ultimately live with a greater sense of inner peace. Number 2, it's not events, but your reactions that matter. Life is a constant flux of occurrences, interactions, and unexpected circumstances. It's important to remember that in most cases, we have no control over these events. They happen as they are bound to, indifferent to our plans, anticipations, or fears. The only control we have is in how we respond, and that is where the true power lies. This principle, which is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, emphasizes the significance of our reactions rather than the events themselves. Indeed, often it's not the events themselves that shape us, but our responses to them. For instance, let's consider the scenario where you miss a train, and you have 2 choices. Either you can wallow in frustration, which will serve no constructive purpose, or decide to use that waiting time to finish reading that book you've been meaning to get to. You cannot shake off the fact that you missed the train. It's now in the domain of uncontrollable past events. However, what you can control is how you react. This is the key distinction that makes all the difference. Similarly, how someone treats you is their action. What you make of it is yours. This is not to dismiss hurtful experiences or justify others' wrong actions. Rather, it is about acknowledging the capacity within you to choose your reaction. Allow yourself to feel the emotions without letting them control you, and then aim to respond with thoughtfulness and dignity. It's your reactions that will shape your experience and impression of the event. Thus, learning to focus and control our reactions gives us a sense of balance and resilience. It makes us less vulnerable to external fluctuations, teaching us to equate our peace with internal harmony rather than external circumstances. It gives us the insight that while we may not control the storm, we can always adjust our sails. Number 3, your thoughts steer your emotions. The principle of your thoughts steer your emotions is a key theme in Stoic philosophy. It is the belief that whatever we think, our mind conceives and turns into feelings which pool into our mental and emotional state of being. In other words, our thoughts carry considerable weight in determining how we feel about certain situations. This would mean that our emotions, whether they be happiness, anger, anxiety, or sadness, are often direct consequences of the thoughts we consciously or subconsciously entertain. Many people go through life reacting impulsively to situations, allowing external events to dictate their mood and attitude. However, the Stoics propose that instead of merely reacting to life's happenings, we have the power to control how we feel about them by carefully regulating our thoughts. Negative thinking, for instance, could stir up feelings of despair or melancholy, while positive thinking can breed optimism and hope. It's like driving a car. The direction your car takes depends largely on how you steer it. Therefore, if you steer your thoughts towards positive affirmations and perceptions, your emotions will definitely follow suit. Contrary to what many believe, human emotions aren't natural, involuntary responses. Our thoughts trigger them. By understanding this concept, we can realize that we are not hapless victims to our emotions. Instead, we are in the driver's seat. We have the power to shift our focus and perspective towards more productive and less destructive patterns. This theory doesn't dismiss the importance of genuine feelings, nor does it suggest that we should suppress negative emotions. Instead, it highlights the power that lies within our control, our thoughts. It encourages us to be providers of our own emotional stability instead of relying on external factors to dictate how we feel. Therefore, the next time you find yourself overwhelmed with anger, sadness, or anxiety, remember, you have the power to alter your feelings by simply changing your thought process. Take a moment to evaluate what you're thinking and why, then steer your thoughts to a more positive place. It's a Stoic principle that can truly give you control over your life. Number 4, accept events as they occur. Adjust your actions. The concept of accepting events as they occur and adjusting your actions accordingly is a fundamental principle in Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that underscores the importance of inner peace, wisdom, and virtue. Understanding that we humans don't have control over everything in our life can be a potent realization. What we can control, however, is how we frame these experiences and how we choose to react. This is not to say that we should remain passive when faced with adversity. On the contrary, Stoicism counsels us to change what we indeed can change. For instance, you may not be able to control the occurrence of a thunderstorm on the day you planned a picnic. It is beyond your sphere of control. However, you can change your plans, adapt to the new circumstances. You can choose to sulk about the spoiled day or turn it into an impromptu, cozy day indoors, complete with hot tea and a good book. These are well within your control. Central to this philosophy is recognizing and accepting what we truly can and cannot control, acknowledging that so many external factors, the weather, other people's behavior, and most world events, remain outside our jurisdiction. Therefore, accepting events as they occur does not mean surrendering to or resigning oneself to these events, but rather understanding that our real power lies in our response, our adaptation, our decision on how to proceed given these events. By internalizing this idea, we begin to see challenges as opportunities to exercise our capacity for patience, resilience, and creativity. We acknowledge that life may throw curveballs at us, but we can step up to the plate and adjust our stance, ready to swing back with all our might. We cannot control the ball's direction or velocity, but we sure can control how, when, and if we decide to swing. Investing unnecessary time and energy on circumstances we cannot change will only lead to stress, while learning to accept and then adjust our actions can lead to a much more balanced, content, and hence controlled life. So there you have it, folks. The reins on your life might just be found with those 4 Stoic meditations. Remember to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep taking control.